Hello everyone! Today I'm happy to talk about forced time-based performance measures in sport climbing, which is a project that started in the Eastern Alps of Austria and now arrived in the Rocky Mountains. Sport climbing is a relatively new competitive sport which held its first international competition in 1985 in Bardonecchia, Italy. In a few months, the modern form of sport climbing will be part of the Olympic Games in Tokyo for the first time. Medals will be given to the athletes who managed to best combine the three disciplines: lead, boulder, and speed. In lead, they try to climb as high as possible on a route with a rope. In boulder, they try to climb several short, powerful, and acrobatic routes. And in speed, the fastest climber on a standardized route wins. In all those disciplines, force transmission from the lower to the upper body and climbing technique are essential. However, performance is often constrained by the physiological limits of the muscles of the arms and shoulders. While coaching a team of young athletes back in Austria, I started a passion project to measure climbing-specific upper limb mechanical power, which finally became the pull-up dyno test. To measure forces, I built left and right hangboards. Essentially, these are wooden plates with a not too good and not too bad climbing hold on them. The plates are connected to load cells and the microcontroller to measure left and right forces at about 92 Hz. These data are then resampled to 200 Hz and are finally 20 Hz low-pass filtered. For the test, first the athletes grab the holds. Then they hang with arms extended, and at a signal they pull as hard as possible. He or she goes there full out and aims to reach as high as possible with both arms at the same time. Here is a slow motion video of the task. Today I'm presenting data from 2 training sessions of a youth elite team. 22 athletes performed the test, 7 were tested twice. The dataset contains data of 21 males and 8 females. We used principal component analysis, Pearson correlation, and linear models to identify the most representative measures. From each test, we calculate 20 measures which represent the sum of left and right forces, or their comparison. But which ones represent this dataset best? For example, we calculate acceleration phase impulse and normalize it to body weight. Or we calculate rate of force development, which may be defined as the average slope at the first 50 milliseconds, or it could be the maximum slope over the whole signal, which we see here in the red plot, seems to be more prone to outliers. In the principal component analysis, we looked at the main contributing features per component and found meaningful combinations up to the 5th component. Together, these components explain 87% of the variance in the dataset and are well represented by the following 10 performance measures. The first component explains 52.7% of the variance in the dataset. It represents what the test was designed for: mechanical power. Its dominant measures are maximum velocity, normalized impulse of the acceleration phase, and normalized maximum power. These measures are strongly represented in this component. The second component is mechanical work related, which is reflected in its main measures: pull-up height, which is the height gained while the athlete is still in contact with the holds, and total mechanical work. The third component is mainly related to rate of force development, which we have seen already before. The single most prominent feature in component 4 is a smoothness factor, which quantifies how smooth the force time signal shape is when compared to a matched parabola. Component 5 compares left to right signals, where the feature left-right complexity, which is the box count in fractal dimension from plotting left versus right forces, is the most prominent one. Correlating the main measures with each other showed that no combination reached statistical significance. Only maximum velocity versus pull-up height reached a moderate R value of 0.54. A linear model of the first 3 main measures already explains 49% of the dataset variance. Adding the final 2 measures, which is then a combination of 5 measures, explains 54%. In summary, when assessing a climber's ability with this test, at least measures of mechanical power, mechanical work, and rate of force development should be discussed. But looking at the shape of the force time trace and comparing left to right forces in addition adds information on movement quality and symmetry, which are often associated with injury risk. Taken together, using this test regularly should facilitate a healthy and successful development of young climbers. Finally, I thank ABC Kids Climbing here in Boulder, Colorado for supporting the testing, Blockhaus Graz in Austria for supporting the construction and testing of the first prototype, Bernhard Lechner for the load cells as well as for motivating me to try force measurements in climbing, and Alina Grabowski at CU Boulder for her ongoing support in this project. Thank you for your interest, and I'm happy to answer your questions.